We have some treats for you today. Who is ready to cool off? We're in the middle of a heat wave. We're hitting record temperatures here in Houston. We've had multiple days over 100 degrees already. I'm sure some of you, I saw Arizona on there. I know you need a cooling off. I saw New York. You can probably use some cooling off. So we've got some cool recipes because today is all about summer chillers. So today on the menu, Bernita, what do you have?
I am going to do, and this is just a slight change from what we offered on the menu, but I am going to do coconut banana ice cream. And Chandra is so graciously putting the recipe in the chat. It's just a cooler, easier, simpler, smooth ice cream. So I really like this one.
Okay, and what else are you gonna fix for us today?
I am also going to do a pomegranate margarita with or without the lid.
All right, so I'm going to create a watermelon sunrise drink for you guys because who does not like a good cold watermelon? But now it is a drink and it's got some surprises too. And I'm going to show you two different versions of that. Also a coconut and lemon slush. So we won't have to go to those drive-ins anymore and pay all that money. We can make some of this stuff at home. And as always, we're all about health because we believe in incorporating as many different colors and some of the nutritional value in. And so we'll throw in some teasers about that as well. But you know what? It's summer, it's hot, we deserve a break. So today is one of those days we're gonna lighten up and just chill out. So I'm going to let Bernita get started. And when she finishes the first recipe that she's going to share with you, I'll be back. And you guys hang on. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we will answer them. Or if you just have comments, we look forward to speaking with you and hearing from you and interacting with you. And thank you so much for being here today for Summer Chillers. Bernita, it's all yours.
Thank you, B. Okay, ice cream. Who doesn't like ice cream? And this particular ice cream that we're going to make this time is coconut banana. So I have 1 cup of half and half and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. So we're going to pour those into the bowl. And with the ice cream, there's a prep that goes with it. So you just don't have it immediately. You have to actually prep. It requires 3/4 cup of sugar. We have that. And it also requires 1 cup of coconut milk. Now, for those of you, and I've had a lot of comments from those who are lactose intolerant, and they say, what are different ways that you can do this? The coconut milk will work, but you can also switch this out with lactate. Do a cup of lactate milk or oat milk or some of the other non-dairy milks that are out there, and they will work for you. Now I have 1 tablespoon of banana and 1 tablespoon of coconut. Now they'll go in to make the flavors blend because we want a coconut banana. And we have to do a pinch of kosher salt and a pinch. And I always put my salt in my hand to not over salt. Made the mistake one time and salt just poured in. And that was not what we wanted. And that's the mixture to ice cream. Some people think it's so complicated and you have to add eggs, but that is it. That's what you use for ice cream. You stir and you make sure your sugar is dissolved. Now, what you're going to do with this mixture is you're going to put it in the ice cream in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. I can sometimes make it and put it in overnight for the next day, just to not to have to do anything else to it. So you're going to mix it, put it in the fridge, cover it up. This is the one we're making for you. Because this is almost like tea time. one that's already made that has marinade. The flavors have marinade. That one's set for a couple of hours. And we'll now use the one that we have already prepared. Now, this is a new ice cream maker. You know, I love gadgets, and this is one of those new gadgets, and this is one that B has. So I have to use what she has at her home. It's not like mine. Mine's is noisy, takes 25 minutes, and B says this one doesn't have a noise. So I'm going to keep it in the room. So if you hear a lot of noise, B said there wouldn't be any noise. So we're going to hold her to that. Now, here's the tub, and what somebody told me the other day, and it was funny to me. They got prepared, they made the ice cream, and they set the ice cream in the fridge and made it up, and then they went to put it in their tub, but they never froze the tub. You have to freeze the tub, and they usually a day or so before you make it. So when you buy it, you keep it in the fridge. Now, keep it in your freezer. So mine's is at home, but mine's is full of raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries and Ziplocs because I use it to store. So it's not just taking up space in the refrigerator. So we're gonna take the mixture and again, this is a new gadget to me because mine was a little bit more complicated than this. And this one just locks in. There we go. It just locks in and you plug it up. So now we're going to see how noisy it is. And it generally takes 25 to 30 minutes to make the ice cream. You don't do any work. There's no churning involved in this process. This is all new and electric. So we're going to plug it in. Right, you can barely hear that. It's just a little motor sound, but you can barely hear that. So we're gonna come back to that ice cream when it's done and made for us. And what we're gonna add is a little toasted coconut to it, so it'll really be nice. So I'm gonna get out of the way and let B work on the next recipe. And watermelon surprise. Ooh. Clean this up for you.
Okay, thank you. So again, I am going to do a watermelon sunrise. And who does not like fresh watermelons? And that's what we're going to use. That's the I've got everything that I need here. It's really simple. I've got lemons, fresh lemons, because I want fresh lemon juice. I also have fresh watermelon. And I'm using a little personal size watermelon because I don't need a whole lot of watermelon, but if you have a large group, get the big watermelon. My sweetener is going to be honey. Now I know sometimes the watermelons are sweet enough so you can cut back on the honey, but this season we've been having a little bit of trouble getting some really sweet watermelon, so I think I'm going to need that honey today. I've got to get my blender. And I'm going to show you just how easy this is. And of course, if you are fortunate enough to get your hands on one of those beautiful, succulent yellow watermelons, the yellow meat watermelons, it's going to be fabulous. And I was really looking for a yellow meat watermelon so I could put the red in first and then put in the yellow and then put in the red. You get my drift. So it just makes for something that's really pretty. I am going to juice some lemons. And again, the recipes for these, Chandra has included the link in the chat. So it's no need to try to keep up and jot down notes or anything. I'm going to get about 1/4 of a cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I prefer to use this juicer that I have right here because it's got a nice little measuring cup on it. And really, once I fill that up, I've got my 1/4 of a cup. the squeezers that you use with the hands. I don't have the strength in my wrist to really get the juice out of those. So this is something that works a little better for me. And it catches all of those seeds because it's got a nice strainer. So Bernita is not the only one that likes those gadgets. I like them too. Just not as much as she does. I think she lives for the gadget. But at any rate, we all have our ruthers in the kitchen, and that's why she is known as the reluctant cook and I'm known as the passionate cook, but together we complete the package. So I've got my juice, took about 2 lemons, and I can pour it directly in my blender. And again, it's got a nice strainer there that catches the seeds. I need some mint leaves. And in the recipe, it calls for 8 mint leaves, but it all depends on how minty you want your drink. And remember, all of the recipes that we share with you, it is about giving you the foundation for the recipe. And once we give you the foundation, then you can modify and adapt. Some people like to follow the recipe first, verbatim, and then get a taste of it and then decide what kind of modifications do they need to make. And as always, if we're using some ingredients that don't fit your dietary profile, put in the chat, ask us about some possible substitutions, and sometimes we can offer you some. All right, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. That's how quick and simple that is. Yes, Benita has a question. I would not use cantaloupe with the lemon juice. Her question is, could we use cantaloupe instead of watermelon? And I'm saying no because of the lemon juice. And if I use cantaloupe, I would forego the lemon juice. I may substitute lime instead of lemon because lime is a little more smooth, it's more mellow, and it would balance it out a little bit better. So about 3 tablespoons of honey. And then I'm going to just scoop out, and I know in the recipe it says cubed watermelon, but with these little personal size watermelons, we can just scoop out the flesh. And I remember as a child going to pick watermelons. My grandfather raised watermelons, and my sister and I would be out there in the watermelon patch, picking watermelons, but we had a plan of how to eat more instead of picking more. So we would pick some of those watermelons and we would go, oops, we dropped it, and it would burst open on the ground. So now it's no good. So guess what? We had to eat it. And so we would just break it open in half, scoop out the heart of the watermelon because we had those watermelons. They didn't have seedless watermelons back then. That's something that's relatively new on the scene. And we would just scoop out the heart because there are no seeds in the heart. And those were some of my fondest memories with my sister and my grandfather down in the country in South Texas. So I think that's enough to get us started. And I can always add more watermelon. So this is going to be noisy. And I don't mind if some of those seeds are still in there because we know that seeds have all the nutrition from the food. And since it's blended up, it's okay. So I'm looking at the consistency. I think it's pretty good. And now I'm going to put it in the glass. So we like to present things because one of the ways that we eat, the first thing that we do is we eat with our eyes because we see it first. Then we have the smell, and that just gets you ready for the taste. So here we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of ice in here because my watermelon could be a little cooler but I am going to share with you an option. And I don't need a lot of ice because I don't want to water down my drink. And we actually have someone here live in our studio audience here at my house in our Pitch-Done kitchen. And so she's going to be our official tester for all things that are prepared today. And so she may need a nap before all of this is over. She said, "What are you cooking today?" I said, "Well, today the stove is not coming on, the oven is not coming on. It's all about summer chillers, and just the word chiller infers there's no cooking involved. But we do enjoy fellowship with food and friends. And so Miss Roslyn, another one of our classmates that I've met at Prairie View A&M University, give it a swig and tell everybody what you think. Oh, this is delicious, B. This is delicious. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's so simple and it's so good. Glad to be a test taster today. You can just take that back over there to that table and sit down and finish that off because we have some more coming. I said I want to give you a little bit of a modification on this one. So I used the fresh watermelon, and now I'm going to still use fresh watermelon, but I have frozen the watermelon. So again, one of those little personal size watermelons or whatever watermelon you get. Now, this is a great way to save some money because sometimes we get those great big old watermelons and we are excited about it because they are on sale. But you know what? A watermelon can only last so long and then it's done. Well, we can take the watermelon, cut it into cubes and freeze it. And I'm going to put just a little more of the original in here because this is frozen very hard. And all it does is change the consistency of the drink. So if you want something that's a little smoother, that's more reminiscent of a smoothie, then use the frozen watermelon, but you can follow the same recipe. I've got one little piece that's kind of bumping around, and then I'm going to catch that sucker and blend him. And the nice thing about this, with my blender, I have the cups, and some of you may have the smaller, like the Ninja type single serve. You can do this as a single serve, but then you just sweeten it with the honey to taste, the lemon juice to taste, and the mint to taste, and that is another option for you. Well, I've got another glass. And so now this is more the consistency of a smoothie. It's more creamy. So I have a spoon here for this one because I might want to get it. So 2 different versions, one with frozen and one without being frozen, your choice, but you still get the great taste of watermelon, the refreshing taste of mint. There's just something about mint on a hot day. It just automatically, that's that aromatherapy going on. And as you inhale it and you taste it, it is so refreshing and calming because that's what those mint oils do. That's why they're so widely used in massage oils and those kinds of things. Well, I'm going to empty out the rest of my blender because I need my blender for the next creation that I will make. And do we have any questions or comments in the chat? Chandra, do we have questions or comments before we transition back over to Bernita.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm
It's
doing several
okay.
things at once.
We're live. We can do this.
Let's see.
Sounds like we're good. And if you find anything, go ahead and let us know. And Bernita, I'm
Oh,
gonna turn it
what
back to you.
non-dairy products can be made, can be used for the ice cream? What non-dairy products can be used for the ice cream?
So I'll let Bernita handle that. Just come back over to the front so they can pick you up.
Okay, for non-dairy products, the coconut milk is non-dairy, almond milk is non-dairy. There's now some oat milks that are out there. There's lactate milk, which is a non-dairy milk that's out there. So there are a lot of the milk substitutions have really progressed over the past few years. And so the products are out there. They will freeze. And in the ancient times, 1300s, 1200s, ice cream used to be known as the rich man's dessert and treat. And it was just simply made with cream and sugar and ice. Ice was a luxury and people didn't have it, and it was expensive. So now we have the luxury of having non-cream based ice cream. So it's helpful for those who have lactose intolerance or just prefer to not have dairy products. But there are a whole lot of options available for you.
What is the brand of the ice cream maker that you're using?
I don't know, but it's cute and it's quiet and ice cream is coming along. So she's looking at it. Where I have another assignment now.
Okay.
Pomegranate Margaritas. And you can make those margaritas with or without the lid. So it's just depending on how you feel or who's in the house or who's not in the house.
It is, the brand is Triple Scoop, but I got it a couple of years ago, but there are all kinds of ice cream makers. Every year they're upgrading and updating. And this one actually says on the box, ice cream, sorbet, and yogurt. So frozen yogurt. So don't be, if it says frozen yogurt on it, it's still gonna make ice cream for you because it just does the same thing. It's just smaller because usually people tend to make smaller batches of frozen yogurt rather than ice cream. So there you have it.
So we're gonna make these margaritas, make them in a big bowl because that's what we're gonna do. Yes, get your drink before I do. And of course, now, change your mind up. But I don't like tequila as much, so I'm gonna use a rum. So, and again, these are your options. You can change up the recipe and make it your own. So I'm going to use a rum. So the first thing I need to do is I need a 1/4 cup.
And while you're pausing, everyone, I have added the recipe link to the chat again. Please let me know in chat if you were able to access it. But it was uploaded as a file. Thank you.
I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of sugar. And I also need a 1/4 cup of hot water. So water. He has one of those electric pots, and it's really nice. So we got our hot water, and the hot water dissolves the sugar. So we're dissolving the sugar. Now we need 1½ cup of pomegranate juice, and you can use any type of pomegranate juice, but I like make sure it's the concentrate. We're gonna use 3/4 cup, and I have a peach tea rum, and it's all Legendaries, but I really like this, and I like rum-based drinks better than I like the 3/4 cups. And again, it's your drink, so you make it the way you want it. And 1/2 cup of fresh squeezed lime juice. So we just made that. Because I have the tea-based, the peach tea base, I'm not going to use the orange liqueur, but you can still use the orange liqueur. So we're gonna take ice. We're gonna mix this up. Here so it doesn't get messy. Pour the sink, because we don't want any accidents. And shake it well. Now we have these cups, and as you can tell, I put sugar on the rim of this cup, but I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. So you want just take your sugar and put it in your plate. Make sure the rim of the glass, just use the lemon. Not the way you should do it, but just use some lemon. Put your glass in your sugar. It comes out pretty. You have your sugar on your rim. Have a cute little straw. Then put some ice in. Making punches and whatever I need, I always keep sliced limes and lemons available for use for garnish. If I made a big picture of this, these would be nice. A little messy over here. And we'll give one to our official taster, and we'll come back later with the finished product and display. And ice cream is still, it looks wonderful. Now, taster who likes wide variety of things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good. Nice and tart, not too tart, sweet, too sweet. Jelly. It was born in me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosalind. So what we're going to do is clean this up, get out of the way so we can come back and finish up with another drink, and then we'll get to that.
Hey, so just clean it up a little bit, clean as you go. This is the way to do it. So thank you, Bernita, for that. And thank you, Ms. Ross, for coming over and being our official taste tester. It's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it. So I'm pretty sure there's some other people saying, hey, what's your address so we can come over and taste something that is not once that ice cream gets done, I'm sure. Well, now it is time for the coconutty slush. And it's actually a coconutty lemony slush. I've already got my glass garnished and ready. This uses just a few simple ingredients. The first one is lemon sherbet or sorbet, whichever one you can get. And basically a lemon sorbet is like a frozen lemonade. So lemon juice, water, and sugar. And if you make it yourself, you can really control how much sugar you're getting, which might be the best option for some of you, or you can use a sugar substitute, or my choice is honey. So there we go, we have that. And now I need just about a fourth of a cup of water, and I had this water in the refrigerator because I don't want to melt my sorbet. And then we have almond milk, once again, that we add to it, and that's going to give it a little bit more of that tropical flavor. And you know what? Lemon and raspberry, a marriage made in heaven. So we've got about a fourth of a cup of frozen raspberries. And we add those in. And as they say, voila, that's it. And now it is time to just blend this together. Again, this could be the base of a brand new favorite drink for you guys. So we have the raspberries frozen. We have the sorbet, the lemon sorbet, and we have almond milk and a little bit of water. So here we go. And here we have it. Here's our finished product. And I garnished it with some coconut flesh, a slice of lemon, a raspberry, and I just threw that blueberry on there again for that little pop of color. And anything that is blue is going to help with your mood adjustment, kind of mellows you out. That's why we kind of naturally gravitate toward those blue, cool kind of looking foods, because they really mellow you out and help you to chill out. But that's it. And cheers. Or should I say salute to your health. So this is a great option for summer, a great drink for the kids to learn how to make on their own. I'm an old math teacher, and one of the things I love about cooking at home and using actual recipes is that you're teaching children very valuable math tools that they can use when they go to school and they start to apply measurement concepts. They already have some intuitive sense about it. So then when we start to use algorithms and things like that, the kids understand. So cooking is something that's going to help your kids in math. So if there are any grandparents out there that are keeping those grands for a week or two, put them in the kitchen. And I know there may be some grands that are saying, I don't even want to be in the kitchen. Well, maybe getting in there with the kids is a way for everybody just to have fun in the kitchen. One of the things we really want to promote, in addition to healthy eating, is just the coming back together around the table and having fun and creating things and creating memories around food. So who doesn't want to have those great memories that are centered around the kitchen in the, this time when we've been separated from family for so long? It's nice to be back together. So I'm going to turn it back over to Bernita. I think she had the little oven going. I smell something toasted in here. Something's toasty. What you got?
I toasted a little coconut to go on top of our ice cream, and our ice cream is coming along wonderfully. I don't want it to stop because it's doing so well, but I think it's time to show you our finished product and what we actually have with the ice cream in this new ice cream maker that I'm trying for the very first time. So, hold on just a second. I'm going to turn it off so that I can bring it over and let you take a look at it. Again, this is a new maker to me, so I'm gonna bring the whole thing over. Bring a cutting board so we won't be so messy. And that looks beautiful. So the ice cream is fluffy and rich. I like soft ice cream. I don't like hard ice cream. But if you want it a little harder than this, you can go ahead and put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes or so. But as you can see, it's thick, it's fluffy, stays on the spoon, and that is nice. Should have put it in something other than this white bowl. That's the afterthought. And this is what the ice cream looks like. I'm gonna move this over because B's bringing a tray out so you can display everything you've seen today. And that's just a matter of taking the flakes and putting them in the oven. Of course, we have a little mirror here. And turn on the big oven. And we just took some coconut flakes, and that's what we got these. Ice cream goes right here.
And we're gonna get you a good shot of everything. So we have this wonderful pomegranate margarita. We have this beautiful coconut milk-based ice cream. We have our watermelon sunrise. And then we have our coconutty lemony slush. All for you guys. Today was all about summer cheer, so we hope you got some ideas to keep you cool, to beat this hot heat this summer. We are in Texas, and even though it gets hot in Texas, we need these summer chillers right here. So we appreciate you. We appreciate AARP for sponsoring this class and allowing us to be your culinary guide for today.